So the college basketball season is over, but there is one more award to hand out this weekend. The John Wooden Legends in Coaching Award will be handed out on Friday night in Los Angeles. And it's going to go to one of our favorites. Rick Bryd, the legendary coach at Belmont, will be given that prestigious honor, named after maybe the greatest coach in college basketball history, and John Wooden, man with double-digit national championships during his days out there in Westwood, 10 titles, 12 Final Fours. Absolutely incredible in what he did on and off the floor. It's absolutely incredible what Rick Bryd did on and off the floor as well, taking Belmont from an NAIA school into the Division I era, 17 conference championships, 8 trips to the NCAA tournament, a bunch of academic All-Americans, all his players graduated, an NCAA tournament win, first one in school history. Just simply amazing what he was able to do on the way to 805 victories, which is 12th most all-time in college basketball. He's been inducted into Hall of Fames. He's gotten other awards time and time again, and now he gets the John Wooden Legends in Coaching Award. It's gone to people like Coach K and Pat Summitt and Gino Auriemma and other great coaches throughout college basketball. Now it will go to Rick Bryd on Friday night out in Los Angeles. And we had the great pleasure of having the great Belmont coach in studio with us for the Electric Power Company's Sunday Sports Central over the weekend. Served as a great guest analyst. He really broke down the Final Four well, but we also got a chance to chat and reflect on his career and the honor of getting this prestigious award coming up this weekend. So it is Kansas and North Carolina tomorrow night for the national championship, but next weekend out in LA, you will be presented with the 2022 John Wooden Legends of Coaching Award. Along with Coach K, John Wooden, those are kind of the two names in the history of college basketball to get an award like that next week with Wooden's name on it.
Yeah.
How proud are you of that?
Well, I guess I'm proud. I don't know if you're supposed to be proud, but I guess I'm appreciative. I know how big it is. I mean, I was 10 years old when he started winning championships, and I was 21 when he quit, and that's all my formative years and the years I decided to coach. And he stood for so much more than the championships, the kind of man he was and the morals and convictions that he had.
To go with that, obviously you won a ton of basketball games, but you also had, I think it was 17 All-Americans, academic All-Americans during your time. You graduated every player that stayed at Belmont. The fact that Coach Wooden, it's got the pyramid of success and all those sort of things, these sort of synonymous besides winning, right, to have that piece of it as well, does that make this a little more special?
Sure. I think when you're recognized for things outside just your one-loss record or the number of championships that you have, those are things that you can control in life. You can be the kind of person you want to be. And so when you get recognized for things like that, it's as good as it gets in our business.
Well, you certainly deserve it, that's for sure. And on the court, of course, 33 years on the bench at Belmont. You won 805 games overall, 17 conference titles, went to 8 NCAA tournaments, and have been enshrined now to the Tennessee Hall of Fame, the NAIA Hall of Fame, and the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame back in November, among other honors. When you hear all those numbers and we rattle off the awards, what are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of the young men that played for us because they really were the biggest part of that equation that you just read off. I got to choose them, and I got lucky, and sometimes I was right, and our staff was right. So the people that help you get there, your staff and your players in particular, are the people that you want to thank, and you really can't do it adequately.
You get to go kind of on this awards circuit now, which is certainly great given your career. When you think back to the very beginning at Lincoln Memorial or Maryville, could you ever have imagined anything like this?
Well, I was 2-13 at Maryville my first year, and believe me, that was the farthest thing from my mind at the time. No, you don't. I think you really just go about doing your job every day as good as you can do it. And when you're fortunate enough to end up with some nice titles and accolades, then that's great. But the real value of that career is the relationships with the players and the people you worked with.
And you are synonymous with Belmont and Belmont basketball, certainly at this point. It was a long grind there from building it to an NAIA power to moving into NCAA Division I basketball. And obviously we know where Belmont is today. What was the point along the way there where you felt like we kind of have something going here at this university and in this program?
Well, it happened twice because it happened in the NAIA period. In the second year, we were able to get some upsets and tie Lipscomb for the championship, and they had won the national championship just 2 years prior, and build on to a great rivalry there. But then you're thrust into Division I, and it's tough to recruit really Division I players. You don't have a Division I gym, you're not in a conference, you can't play in the tournament. That's a 4 or 5 year period that's pretty tough, particularly if you want to build it with high school players predominantly. But I think we ended up getting invited to the NIT in 2004. Certainly when we made the tournament in 06, 07, and 08, then we felt like we could keep getting better and better, and we felt like we had a pretty good formula.
So as you look back on it all now, I know there's a lot of big wins and championships and all that. Is there one moment from standing on the sideline that stands out?
There's probably two. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I think
you're the Hall of Famer.
at least in the Division I era, the overtime win against Lipscomb in Johnson City to send us to the tournament for the first time happens to be against your greatest rival. Really a school and a program that pushed us to be better back in the NAIA days. And then the at-large bid and getting the win against Temple was pretty great. Never forget a day of winning that game late at night and going to the hotel and checking out and going to the airport and flying all night long to Jacksonville, and it's just a whirlwind that you can't beat.
And you nearly beat Maryland in that next game as well. As you sit here now, you've been an ambassador for the sport for such a long time. You're on the rules committee and have done a lot of things that really helped grow the game. As you've been out of it for a couple of years and you look at some of the new things, the NIL, the transfer portal and how it's taken off, how do you feel about the state of the game, college basketball right now?
Well, the segment's not long enough for some of that stuff,
yeah.
Steve. I don't like the 1 year immediate eligibility. I think you look at programs like ours, and if you happen to get a hidden gem, that's going to turn into a really good player, he has one good year, and it's awfully hard for that person to turn down the highest level of basketball plus the NIL money that's out there right now that goes with it. So I worry for schools and programs like Belmont's and Lipscomb's and those kind. The game itself is fine. It's there's more ball screens than I'd like to see sometimes. I like to see guys pass and move and screen and read the defense, but it's hard to guard, and that's why they're doing it. But I love watching the game. I just wish it was on a little bit of a different track.
Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate your time. Congratulate you again on the honor. It's been so much fun watching your career and obviously having you in studio tonight. Yeah, so great to have Rick Bryd in over the weekend, and no one deserves that honor more than him. We went through all the accolades in that interview, talked about it a little bit before we tossed to it a few moments ago. I mean, just an absolute class guy, a great basketball coach who had a ton of success there. Almost no one did it better, considering all of the circumstances, yet he might be a better person off the court. And that's why, to me, the John Wooden Award is so perfect, because Wooden was known so much for his morality, his character, and what he did off the court, just as much as winning all those national championships with Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton and those guys out in Westwood with UCLA. So Rick Bryd going to get honored with the John Wooden Legends and Coaching Award coming up on Friday night, and that is certainly well-deserved. One more congrats to him on that. When we come back, we'll switch gears. We'll talk opening night Sounds baseball. Nashville currently up 2-0 on Durham. We'll hear from some of the Sounds as they get set for what they hope is a very successful and fun summer ahead at First Horizon Park. Stay tuned. More SportsLine on the way after this.